Hi everyone, this is the group presentation of Group 6, which we are tasked to make a employee record tracker using an assembly language programming.
In this part of the video, I will explain the Employee Record Tracker's implementation details and how its modules interact. I begin by describing the data layout and constants, then I cover the input-output helpers, validation routines, search and record operations, display functions, and finally, important conventions and design choices. The program stores employee records in a contiguous array. Constants at the top define sizes and limits. Max employees equals to 100. Name size is 50 bytes. Position size is 30 bytes. And record size is 80 bytes. Runtime storage includes the employees array and the employee count integer. Input buffers and temporary name position buffers are located in the uninitialized.bss section. These clear divisions, constants, and strings in that data, buffers and counters in that BSS, make the program's memory layout explicit and easy to change in one place. At a high level, main controls program flow. It prints the title, enters the main menu loop, requests a validated menu choice. The menu handlers for delete, search, and display are small and only present options and forward the validated choices to focused routines. This separation keeps control flow simple and readable. Now, I will explain each set of helpers and procedures. First, the input, output, and basic utilities. Clear screen calls the system CLS command to clear the console. Get stdin obtains a stdin file pointer by calling the iobfunc, which the code passes into. Clear buffer zeros a buffer given its address and size. Remove new line from input scans an input string and replaces a trailing new line or carriage return with a null terminator. Each of these functions encapsulates one low-level operation so higher-level code can reuse them without repeating implementation details. Next, we have input validation. Get menu choice reads a line into input buffer, strips the new line, and calls the validate menu input. If validation fails, it returns -1, otherwise it returns the numeric menu choice. Validate menu input enforces a single ASCII digit between 0 and 9, stores the numeric value in choice, prints an error message on invalid input, and returns a Boolean result and EAX. Then we have validate name. It checks that names are not empty, rejects numeric digits, and allow letters, spaces, hyphen, and apostrophe. It prints specific error messages for empty input or invalid characters and returns success or failure in EAX. Then we have validate position, simply rejects empty input and returns success in EAX. These compact validators are used across add, delete, and search flows, preventing duplicated logic. String comparison and searching are centralized. Compare strings, perform a case-insensitive comparison by converting any uppercase ASCII letters to lowercase before comparing each byte. Compare strings returns 0 in EAX when the strings are equal and non-zero when they differ. So callers test equality using JZ after call. Then we have find employee by name. Find employee by name uses compare strings to perform a linear search over all records. It calculates each record's base address by index times record size and returns the matching index or -1 if no match is found. Centralizing the comparison avoids subtle mismatches in search behavior and makes it trivial to change comparison rules in one place. Addressing and memory operations are managed by a few focus routines. The getEmployee offset accepts an index, multiplies by record size, sets ESI to point to that record, and returns the byte offset and EAX. Then we have the add employee. The add employee validates input for name and position. It computes the destination record addresses as our employees array, employee count times record size. It copies fixed size blocks for the name and position using rep moves B and increments employee count. Then, the routine uses clear buffer and remove new line from input to ensure clean null terminated strings are copied. This routine composes lower level helpers into a single clear task: read, validate, and store. Next is for deletion. Deletion is implemented atomically. Delete employee takes a record index, computes source and destination offsets for the memory region after the deleted record, and shifts subsequent records down using rep moves B. It then decrements employee count. The routine handles the special case for deleting the last record by checking the number of bytes to move. Then, we have the delete employees by position. Delete employees by position iterates through all records, compares position with compare strings, and calls delete employee for each match. It manages indices carefully so that after deletion, it does not increment the loop index because records have shifted down. Consolidating the actual memory move logic in delete employee ensures a single tested operation is reused for both single and bulk deletes. Next is for our display functions. Display functions are straightforward and reusable. So, our display employee accepts an index, calls getEmployeeOffset, and prints the name and position fields. Then we have the displayAll function. DisplayAll loops over every index and calls displayEmployee, printing separators and then a total count. And then we have the display employees by position. Display employees by position searches through all records, just like display employees, and prints any that match the specific position. It prints a header the first time it finds a match, and prints a not found message if there are no matches. Then, we have the display group by position function. This function iterates through records and for each record calls was position displayed to determine if this position header has already been printed. If not, it prints the position header and calls the display employees by position group function to list the names under that position. The was position displayed scans earlier records for the same position using compare strings. This design produces group output without duplicates while reusing the same comparison and display primitives. Now, let's mention a few conventions and important gotchas to call out. First, compare strings returns 0 when equal. Failure to remember that leads to inverted condition logic. Second, reading uses fgets and remove new line from input, so the code always works with null terminated strings. Buffers are fixed size, and clear buffer ensures there are no stray bytes copied into records. Third, all record accesses use record size for indexing, so changing the record layout requires updating only the constants. Finally, validation routines print error messages themselves. This keeps the calling flow simple, but couples validation code with user-facing output. In terms of modular design, each routine follows a single responsibility. Input handling, validation, comparison, addressing, memory operations, and presentation are separated into small focused procedures. Higher level flows compose these blocks: the add, delete, search, and display operations called the low level helpers instead of inlining complex logic. This modular approach reduces duplication, makes intent explicit, and localizes changes. For example, changing comparison rules requires updating only compare strings. It also makes the code easier to test mentally and to demonstrate in a recorded walkthrough. So, in summary, the program is organized into composable, testable procedures that isolate input-output, validation, data addressing, memory manipulation, and presentation. These modules interact through simple, well-documented interfaces, stack pass parameters, and return values in EACS, which together implement a clear, maintainable employee record system.
Good day everyone. Today, we'll be presenting Employee Record Tracker System written in assembly language using NASM. This system allows the adding, deleting, searching, and displaying employees using simple console interface. For this demonstration, we'll walk you through a complete sample run showing how this program works. We start at the main menu. We have the function add employee, delete, search, display, and exit. To check if our system has already employees stored, we are going to display employees. So to display, just enter 4 to display employee. In display employee, we have three options. First is to display all employees, next is to display by position, and lastly, option to back the main menu. So let's enter choice number 1 to display employees para ma-check natin kung may existing ng employee sa ating system. So, warning, no employees in the system. So, it confirms that no employees sa ating system. So, let's add. So, let's go back to main menu by entering number 0. Now, let's add employee. So, enter choice number 1 to add. So, the system asks for employee name. So, let's enter Eliza Olivares with the position of manager. So, let's enter. So, it says success. Employee added successfully. So, to confirm that, let's display ulit the employee. So, by entering number 4. So, now we are going to display all employees. To check lang naman kung na-add siya. So, yun. Employee list. Name, Eliza Olivares, position, manager. So, mag-add pa tayo ng ibang employees. So, back to main menu. So, add ulit, enter choice number 1. Now, let's add Joshua Sario. Position, IT support. Another add ulit tayo ng another engineer. So, Nel Adam Binosa. Another employee, enter choice 1 to add another employee, Roynel Jessis. A position of analyst. Another next Francesca Richardo, another analyst. Let's add naman ng technician. We have Francisco Berga. Another technician. Another technician. Now let's add the last one. as security officer. So overall, we add 10 employees with different positions. So now let's display. So first we display all employees. So number 1. So as you can see, we have the employee list. So the 10 na inad natin. So as you observe, naka-sort siya based kung sino unang inad natin. So Eliza Olivares, Josh Basario, hanggang sa kay Carl James Papalaretnam. So now, try naman natin is display by position or naka-group. So just number 2. So ito yung position. Ang mga manager is Liza DP, Joshua, Vince Nell sa engineer, Annalise Roynel and Francesca sa Francisco Gabriel as technician, and security officer si Carl James. So these are the employees grouped by position. So let's get back to main menu. And now, ita-try natin mag-delete employee. So number 2. So we have two choices sa pag-delete ng employee. So delete by name and delete by position. So delete by name muna. So 1. So enter employee name. So let's delete Carl James Papalaretnam. So confirmation, success, employee deleted successfully. So to check, we have to display kung na-delete nga ba si Carl James Papalaretnam sa ating employee list. So back to main menu, display all employees. So yun, siyam na lang ang ating employees. So as you can see, nawala yung Carl James Papalaretnam. So back to main menu, delete ulit tayo ng isa. So delete by name ulit. So let's try delete si JP Caldo. So success ulit, employee deleted successfully. To check, display employee number 4. So display all employees. So yun, wala na si JP Caldo na may position na manager. So total employees ay 8 na lang. So let's try yung delete by position. So delete employee number 2. So delete by position. So dito, we are going to enter lang naman ng position na nilagay natin kanina, kahit ano. So let's delete the technicians. So just enter technician. So success, employee deleted successfully. So this means na yung mga employee na may position na technician is na-delete. So display natin. So ngayon, i-display naman natin by position, since position yung ating delete. So number 2. So yan, ang mga position na lang is manager, IT support, engineer, and analyst. So sa pa-employee list naman, wala na yung technician na si Francisco and Gabriel. So total employees is 6 na lang. So back to main menu, and nasa main menu na ulit tayo. At this point, you have seen how the system handles adding and deleting employee. To continue the demonstration, Eliza Olivares will explain and demonstrate the search and display feature, where you can look up employees either by their name or by their position.
My name is Eliza Olivares, and I will be the one who will discuss the last two functions, which are the search and delete functions, since Joshua Sario is already done discussing the first functions, which are the add and delete functions. So let's now proceed. As you can see here, I displayed the employee list, so we have a guide for our discussion or for searching. So let's start. Search will search employee, then enter a choice of 3. Then it will ask you to uh, have an input of 1, 2, and 0. 1 for search by name, 2 for search by position, and 0 for going back to the main menu. Let's have a choice of 1. Then we will enter the employee name that we are going to search, which for example we will have Joshua. Then it will say it will show an error message which says employee not found. And as you can see here in our employee list, we have Joshua Sario, but not Joshua only. Here you must input the name and the surname, since the system is more sensitive. Kasi for example, you deleted just by name. For example, we have two Joshua but different surnames. If you only deleted the Joshua, it will delete the two Joshua with different surname will also be deleted. So since we need to be more careful for our employee system, we have to be more specific when inputting for searching and deleting. So again, let's enter a choice of 1 to search by name, and the employee name will be having is Joshua Sario. Then enter. And as you can see here, it says employee found, name Joshua Sario, and position of an IT support. Then we will try to search by name again, which we have a choice of 1, and we will try to search for John Paul Caldo. It says error, employee not found. Since as you can see here in our employee list, we have no employee that was named John Paul Caldo. Let's proceed again with the choice of 1. Then we will try to search for an employee named Eliza Olivares, and it will display employee found, name Eliza Olivares, and position of manager. Here also in our employee list we have Eliza Olivares. And let's proceed with the search by position. We have an enter a choice of 2, then enter employee position. Here we will try to search with an employee with position of analyst. Then it will display employee found, the name of the employee, and the position of analyst. Here, as you can see, we have two employee found, which we have Raynel and Francesca Richardo for having the position of analyst. And another, we will input a choice of 2, then let's try to search for a technician. Then it says error, employee not found. As you can see here in our employee list, we have no employee that has a position of a technician. So the error message is accepted or true. we only have manager, IT support, engineer, analyst, and an analyst. Let's proceed. Let's try an IT to search for an IT support. Here, as you can see, there is an error message which we mistakenly input IT support to enter a choice which only asking for 1, 2, and 0 choice. Let's correct it. Let's enter a choice of 2, then let's search for employee position IT support. As you can see here, it displays employee found, the name of the employee, and the position of an IT support. Since we're done, let's go back to the main menu and let's proceed with the display employee. Employee is used to display all the or display the list of our employees in the system. The first choice is for display all employee. 2 is for display by position. It is grouped, and a 0 for back to the main menu. And we have a choice of 1. Then as you can see here, this is our employee list, the name and the position of our employees. Then the total number of our employees is also shown for reference. And let's proceed with a display by position. We'll enter a choice of 2. Then as you can see here, we have the employees grouped by position, and the first uh as you can see here, it is sorted in position, which position manager. We have manager, IT support, engineer, which we have 2 employees, and analyst, we also have 2 employees. And since we're done displaying all employees and positions, we will go back to the main menu. And since we're done, let's exit the program, which we have a choice of 0. Then it will say exiting system, goodbye. And that's all for the discussion of all the functions. The next video and the next reporter will be Nal Adam Binoso to discuss the error handlings, or the errors if you prompted or you entered wrong choices on our menu, and how it will be handled. That's all. Thank you for listening.
So I will be demonstrating the error handling and system input validation for our employee record tracker system. First, let's say me as a user, I input something that isn't in the choice in our main menu. So let's say I type in 9. Since 9 is not in the list, it will return an error invalid message that says, error, invalid choice, please try again. And the system will also ask another number until it receives a valid input from the user. Now let's go on the add employee. Let's say me as a user, I entered the program without even pressing anything or entering a name. Let's say I enter it, and as you can see, it will return an error message that says input cannot be empty. Now, what if I enter a name with special characters or a number in it? So let's say I put Vince and at and also one. And as you can see, the system will return you an error invalid message that says error invalid name. Name should only contain letters and spaces. And the program will continuously ask you until you input a valid letters or names. Now let's go on the delete feature. So let's type 2, and let's say the system still doesn't store any names or position in the program yet. So when we input 1, when we want to delete a name, but there's still no names or any position that is saved in our system, it will return an error message or a warning message that says, warning, no employees in the system. Let's say now you want to delete a name or an employee in the system. So if you enter a name that isn't in the list, like let's say Raynel, it will return an error message that says error employee not found. So it also goes same with the position. So when we press 2 and hit a position that isn't in the list, let's say assistant, it will return an error message that says error employee not found. Now let's go on the search feature. So when we type 3 and let's say me as a user, I try to search a name that isn't saved in the system. So let's say I search for John Paul. It will return an error message that says employee not found. This is kind of similar for the delete employee input validation or error handling. So it also goes same with the search for position. So when we try to search for position that isn't saved in our system, let's say CEO, so it will return an error message that says error employee not found. And that would be all for the error handling and invalid input validation for our employee record tracker system.